start streaming? Is it going to start? Is it going to open to go? Is it going to... Am I streaming now? Good morning. Hello, welcome to Lazy Mini Painting, just in case. I'm just going to have a quick think because it's not told me to click go and it normally does. So I'm just going to have a quick check that it is actually bloody working. But yes, welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. I'm Laz, your usual host. As some of you will already know, and some of you were thinking, who looks this weirdo? I'm just going to have a quick think because it's not told me to go and it doesn't tell me every time. So I have to, sometimes you have to guess. Now, my desk is a mess. I'm just going to move my jar of brushes and my Necron bits and my paint palette and my hammer guys, and who are now all fixed, by the way. They're now all fixed. They've all got their hammers. Good morning, Al. Good morning, Twisted. Thank you both for coming to join me all afternoon, depending where you are in the world. Today's issue is another new faction. So we've had Space Marines, we've had Eldar, we've had Tyranids. We've had one model from this faction, but yeah, one model's not a lot, is it? I do just so happen to have the 32mm bases that don't come in this issue. So I want to open the noise of it. Hold on 1 second. This is always noisy. I've got to take a photo of this as well to put as the thumbnail. So this issue is 33. And you see we've got a nice big Chaos Marine and then a picture of 10 Chaos Legionaries underneath. So this issue's telling us about the Legionaries, about the Black Legion, and then he's going to tell us about melee attacks. Okay. Now, is it going to tell us how to put... Yeah, it's going to tell us how to put the Legionaries together. Now, we do knock my glue off the table is what we do first of all, because that's clever. Super glue, of course, not plastic glue. It's not something that won't affect anything. No, let's not the super glue off. That's going to make everything fucking hard and crusty. I feel like my camera's not in the right place. That's better. Where's Steve? Steve's gone missing. Lily's there, but Steve's gone missing. I don't know why. I'll figure that out in a minute. So we get lots of plain shoulder pads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. That's not right. Yeah, 10 plain shoulder pads. 10 not so plain shoulder pads. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 different heads. But only 9 of them are helmeted. Let's hope we get a few duplicates. Oh no, there's a 90 and 117. And so 10 of them, we get 10 heads with helmets. We get 10 heads with helmets. That's good. Now, the problem is, with these instructions, it's going to tell you to make certain ones with things like heavy bolters and melter guns and flamers and bolt guns and all sorts of other things. So you end up with what will essentially be this little force here. See the heavy bolter guys there, and you've got the guy with the melter gun there, a few guys with bolters at the back, and some guys with chainsaws. All of mine want chainsaws. All of them. So let's go looking through now. We have one there. We have another melee weapon there, which is I'll suffice if needs be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 chainsaws. Which means we're going to have 7 pistols. And then everybody else has got to have something different. Hold on a minute. I'm going to go look at the Games Workshop's website because I think I'm missing a sprue, essentially. Just one sprue. But that one sprue is going to have the extra chainsaws on it and anything else. So let's have a quick look at the Chaos Armies. No, not World Eaters, you bloody idiot. We want Chaos Space Marines because we want to find a unit of Chaos Legionaries. Not Corn Berserkers. Corn Berserkers will definitely come with enough melee stuff because that's all they have. Legionaries, there they are, 42.50. It's a lot of money. Although it's 420, so I can't really. Right, let's see. Do we have a... Right, that's the sprue with the missile launcher and the power fist. Okay. Yeah, there are 3 sprues. That's the sprue with that one. And on the 3rd sprue, which we should get next time, there's an axe. There's some more torsos. There's a couple more heads. There's knives. I don't see any more chainsaws though. That's not good. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I do still have like this chap here to make number 8, number 9, which would be the leader, obviously, because he's got the plasma pistol. And I'm sure I've got another Chaos Legionary somewhere that can... There we go. So I can make the 10-man squad-ish if I wanted to. But I've got a feeling not all the pieces are going to be here. And I'm going to need something off sprue number 3 to finish a lot of these off. That's good. So I've got to wait till next fucking week now. I don't like it when they do this. So just for clarification, it is the usual build by numbers. So for the first Legionary, which they're going to give you with a plasma pistol and the axe, which they're going to want you to be the sergeant, is 105, 104 to start with. Then 116 is the front. 117 is the helmeted head. Then you choose the pistol you want, attach it to the actual arm. So 107 being the arm, then 91 or 110 being the pistol for him on his right arm. Then you choose for his left arm, do you want the big axe or do you want the club? Now, see, I've already used the big axe on this chappy from the other set that I had, so I'll probably be using the club, even though he's actually got a club and an axe. The joys. And once you put that on, then you choose his head. I would choose 117 as well. That one looks the better option because he's got the big spikes on his head. So I would also choose 117. I just realized I'm not even looking at the right thing. Yeah, it is, Alex. The other sprue and the bases come next issue. So hopefully I can find my other Chaos sprues and that will give me enough swords and stuff to make up the rest. So I'm going to have to go hunting this week. Been doing them this week, and now we'll have to go hunting for Chaos stuff for next week. So page 2, it goes through. It finishes off saying, put the shoulder pads on one of the, and the 2 arm pads, and then this little bit here, which is 118 or 189, goes on the slot on his backpack there to make it a little bit more ornate, and that'll be the aspiring champion done. 79, 80, and 81 will do the main torso for the next guy. And that's quite easy because it goes 82, 83, 84, and 85. He goes all in a nice big number, then you just pick whichever head you want to put. Again, backpack will have a bit of iconography on it if you want. That's the problem though, Twisted. All they've done is they took the box and they've gone those 2 sprues in one magazine, that sprue and the bases in the other magazine. And although you do get a lot of the actual core models in the first issue, you don't get everything. So that second edition, you're going to need it just to help bulk up the stuff. As I said, I do have 3 Marines that I've already made, so I could get around it if I wanted to, especially if I go find the box set with, well, the box with all the Chaos bits in it. I could use extra Chaos bits and rebuild a couple of other models using other bits. But we don't always want to do that. I'm just going to have to this time. So where are we up to? We've done Aspiring Champion, first guy. Heavy Belter guy, which is 61, 62, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and 40. Don't forget the backpack, which is 40. 70 is the Heavy Belter backpack, so it'll give him a big ammunition piece on the back. And obviously a plain shoulder pad to cover it up. Lovely. It is incredibly frustrating, Twisted, especially if you're getting it week on week basis. If you're subscribed, you get 4 issues at a time, so you'll probably get this one and the next issue together. So it would have been like the Dark Apostle, the 2 paints, and then these 2 issues. So you'll have it all there, and then if you get it subscribed, but if you're getting it week on week like I do, then you have to wait till next week to finish off the unit and then to get painting. Yes, it is frustrating. So let's see now. Legionnaire number 3 is 29, 30, 31. Is it 31? Yeah, 31, 32, 33, 34. Pick your head. 136 is your backpack. And 2 shoulder pads you'll end up with. Oh, this guy's been given the melter gun. So we've had the Heavy Belter, the melter gun, the Legionnaire, and the Aspiring Champion so far. A lot of them will just get the basic, you equip them with bolters. So it's like 5 and 6. The arm with a bolter, the arm that clips into the bolter, done. Just like that fella there. A lot of them will go like, well, at least 3 of them will go like that. This one's slightly different, with him holding a bullet belt. And again, another one with bullet belt coming from his back, holding a standard bolter. And then it comes down to some of the other variants that you can make with close combat weapons. So you've got chainsword and bolt pistol, which will be the method that I'm going for all of them apart from the Aspiring Champion. So all the remainders have chainsword and bolt pistol. Next week's going to be fun, isn't it? Because I'm going to have to use this guide and not use this guide both at the same time. Oh, Joyce. So shall we get talking about the Black Legion, who is what they will want you to paint these Marines, these Chaos Marines up as? I'm doing all mine as World Eaters. So, yeah, I'm not doing Black Legion. I don't like Black Legion. It is the chest. I mean, you do get. I know you do get some torsos. Pardon me. So yeah, all the backs seem to be here. All the fronts, legs. This is how we're saying. We seem to be missing in this issue. We're missing a lot of the front pieces. Yeah, we're pretty much missing all the torsos. We've got the shoulder pads. We've got the legs. We've got the backpacks. We've got majority of the weapons. But yeah, we haven't got any torsos. That sucks. Maybe this is where we should go to the Black Legion instead. So here we go. The Black Legion. The Black Legion has a long and brutal history in service of chaos, forged in the eye of terror from shattered traitor legions. The Black Legion has focused the anger and bitterness of the defeated traitors and provided them with renewed direction and purpose. Now they seek to tear down the Imperium and bring ruin to the galaxy. Nice bunch of chaps. Just one moment, I'm just going to blow my nose. That's a lot better. Sorry about that, people. Sorry about that. That is back. The Black Legion is the single largest and most notorious force in the Space Marine chaos. Let's start that again, shall we, with functioning mouth and brain, if possible. The Black Legion is the single largest and most notorious force of Chaos Space Marines in the galaxy. It is many times the size of a Loyalist Space Marine chapter. The core of the Black Legion is built around the veterans of the original Sons of Horus. Their ranks swollen over millennia with the other renegades and Space Marine warbands who have joined their cause. The Black Legion may seem like marauding barbarians, but their savagery is matched with hard-won experience. Well, they have been at it for a while. Sneezy season has begun, you're right, Twisted. Although I'm not too bad with it, not as bad as Sparkles. Sparkles will have to take medication. Antihistamines. They advance with incredible speed, maintaining punishing fuselage of rune-engraved bolts before closing in to butcher the foe in a ritual combat. The Black Legion's sheer size gives it a vast amount of battlefield flexibility. It does. Got loads of them. Hundreds and thousands of them. Hydrates, because I've been up long and feel very discombobulated still. Abaddon the Despoiler, Supreme Master of the Black Legion, got a bit weird there, is free to prosecute war as he wishes. He may crush the foe beneath the iron treads of ancient tanks and scuttling demon engines, or dispatch his herald Harken Worldclaimer at the head of a screaming host of chainsaw-wielding Chaos Raptors. Jump back Chaos Marines, for the simple one. Most feared are the Black Legion's Terminators, an elite brotherhood chosen by Abaddon. When the time to destroy the foe finally comes, they teleport into the heart of battle to shatter the enemy's resolve once and for all. I've got to say, Chaos Terminators looking nice. Like, way too much trim, way too much bits to paint, but way too many bits to paint, but they look nice. What's going about the Sons? Is it Sons of Horus next? Yes. Sons of Horus. Millennia ago, the Black Legion were the Sons of Horus, one of the original Space Marine legions. The Sons of Horus were drawn from the brutal industrial world of Chthoniya, where aspirants knew nothing but violence from birth and were forced to survive in hostile conditions through gang warfare. Throughout the Great Crusade, the Legion waged unrelenting war in the Emperor's name and conquered many worlds. Following the treachery of Horus, the Sons of Horus followed their Gene Father in rebellion against the Imperium, only stopping when Horus was slain during the Siege of Terra. Bloody wusses. So, hosts uncounted. The Black Legion recruits ruthlessly from other Chaos Marine warbands. Their ranks include warriors from many other traitor legions, even fanatical worships of individual Chaos gods, such as the pestilent Plague Marines of Nurgle or the mysterious Rubric Marines of Tzeentch, can be found united under the banner of Chaos Undivided. Abaddon's singular charisma allows him to employ battle tactics that make the most of the unique strengths of warbands and that make up his legion. Khorne Berserkers charge into battle, covered by shrieking sonic weapons of the Noise Marines with Legionaries in reserve. So Legionaries, which are we worship all Chaos gods, all four of them equally. And that's the standard Chaos Marine. Down here they do have a picture of what a Khorne Berserker would look like in Black Legion colours, what a Rubric Marine would look like in Black Legion colours, a Plague Marine and a Noise Marine. So they're all deity specific, going Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Slaanesh. You can just dedicate the entire army to one of those gods, like I will be doing for Khorne. So that's why all mine will be going red rather than being black. See, they're the Terminators. They look nice, don't they? And big tusks and spiky. Yeah. So Abaddon the Despoiler is perhaps the most feared and renowned Chaos Warlord in the galaxy. For 10,000 years, he he has worked tirelessly to undermine the Imperium. Through genius, might, and the blessings of all 4 Chaos Gods, Abaddon has sworn to turn down the Emperor from his throne and begin a dark new empire of his own. Lovely man. Abaddon the Despoiler was instrumental in the birth of the Imperium. If he has his way, he will also be the harbinger of its death. Formerly known as Ezekiel Abaddon, first captain of the Sons of Horus, he was once a loyal servant to the Emperor and fought as a mighty warrior in his name. Today, he is known as Abaddon the Despoiler, chosen of all 4 Chaos Gods. Abaddon is a being of singular will and drive. No other living thing has proven able to harness the power of chaos as he has. Abaddon has forged his own dark path. Through ruthlessness and charisma, he has gained the loyalty of numberless chaos warlords and absorbed their war bands into his own. Where other Space Marine legions have broken down under infighting or clung to past glories, Abaddon has transformed the Black Legion into an incredible instrument of war. Abaddon is a master planner. Every battle he fights is part of a grand strategy, and every step brings him closer to his ultimate goal, the destruction of the Imperium. So he's a bit of a wanker. Oh, now I'm going to tell you about some of his war gear and stuff. So we have Drachnion, which is his sword. Drachnion is a demon sword of incredible power. The entity that is contained within its cursed blade has terrorized humanity since its earliest days. Now it serves Abaddon. Drachnion's edge can sunder reality itself. No ordinary armor can protect from it. Any slain by the blade find their souls trapped within it, doomed to eternal torment. So you get sucked in by the demon that's in it, and you are stuck in a not nice place. Then we have the Mark of Chaos Ascendant. Abaddon is one of the only beings to bear the blessing of all 4 Chaos Gods. Each vies for his soul, offering a share of their enormous power to the Despoiler in hope that he will submit to them and them alone. Abaddon can draw on Khorne's bloodlust, Slaaneish's speed, Tzeentch's cunning, and Nurgle's endurance in battle. So he gets a bit of everybody's stuff. It's not too bad. The Talon of Horus. The Talon of Horus is a relic of the Horus Heresy, the fated weapon that slew the Primarch Sanguinius. Abaddon won the Talon in a battle against the clone of Horus himself. Since that fateful day, it has claimed countless more lives, whether at range with its built-in bolter or in blood-soaked melee. It is a giant power claw with a bolter built into it. Nice. Oh, you can multifunctional. You can't go wrong with that, really, can you? Now more to his fleet. Planet Killer. Planet Killer is the most fearsome vessel in Abaddon's fleet. Unlike many other Chaos battleships, which are ancient craft from the Imperium's early days, Planet Killer was constructed in the Eye of Terror. Every weapon and every inch of armoured plating on its terrifying craft hums with unnatural power. Planet Killer is no mere name. This battleship's Armageddon gun is capable of blasting apart entire worlds with warp energy. So here's a bleeding Planet Killer. There is a story. It's called The Dark Descent, and it's part 1. I am not going to read these, as I wish to encourage you to read the stories yourself. These are some of the fun bits. So please read through that story. And then they're going to make us do the naming stuff and the role for the Legion that we're going to build next week. Do it now. Legionaries are the black heart of the Chaos Space Marines raiding force. Each legionnaire is a warband. In a warband matches the might of a Space Marine with centuries of experience and blessings of the Dark God. So the background table. If you roll a 1 or a 2, these legionaries collect grisly trophies from the battlefield, which they use in dark rituals dedicated to the Chaos Gods. Yeah. You get 3 or 4. These legionaries each secretly think themselves chosen and will do anything for more power. So that's a unit that's going to stab each other in the back. Nice. If you roll a 5 or a 6, these legionaries are veterans of the Long War and use ancient tactics to great effect. That sounds like the better one. That does sound like the better one. So once you've got your background, you also get to name your legionaries if you really want to go ahead and do that. And now they're going to tell us the data sheet. So they're pretty much Space Marines. So it's a 6-inch move, toughness 4, save 3+, 2 wounds, leadership 6+, and an OC of 2. As it all says there. They are pretty much the same. They'll be the same kind of weapon loadout, so bolt pistols, bolt guns. And this one they've listed heavy bolter, a melter gun, and a plasma pistol as all the ranged weapons. Now, just looking at the sprue, I see a missile launcher. So I know they can take one of them. And if the other sprues, anything's cut off, they'll probably end up with a plasma gun as well. So this isn't the full range of stuff they can take. It's just what they want you to put on it. So one guy with a metal gun, one guy with a heavy bolter, some guys with Astartes chainswords, which again aren't bad. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, strength 4, -1 AP, which is better than the fucking bolt guns, and 1 damage. A cursed weapon, which is what the big axe will be classified as. You know, that one. No, get a bit further away. That one. That axe would be classified as an accursed weapon. So that's still 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, strength 5 this time, AP -2, and 2 still damage 1. Pardon me. Now, it does have a big red box here at the bottom. So that looks like it's going to be important to read. As a band of renegades and reavers, the models in your unit of legionaries have a variety of weapons. They are not all armed with the same war gear. When you make shooting or melee attacks with the unit, check the models to see what war gear they are armed with, as if you are fast rolling, you'll need to assemble appropriate pools of dice for specific weapons. So pull all your bolt guns together, pull all your bolt pistols together, and roll your plasma pistol and metal gun on its and heavy bolter on its own. Because they're individuals, and if you've got 4 guys with bolt guns, then that's 8 attacks. If you've got 4 with the cursed champion, so 3 guys with bolt pistols, so that's 3 attacks, a plasma pistol, 3 shots with a heavy bolter, and 1 shot with a melter. Good morning, Buzz. How are you doing, mate? Is it still morning? We are still morning. You good? You good? We're still at morning. So it is a mismatch of what it can do. So primarily they're going to be anti-infantry. That melter gun just gives them a bit of a decent shot against a 1 shot against a tank or something bigger. So you have to take out a monster or your Terminator, something more elite. Then your plasma pistol and your melter gun are going to do more damage than the rest. So Chaos naming your models. They want you to name every individual model. They do. Every single one. So they want you to do a lot of table rolling. So first dice is the column down here, and the second dice is the rows. The rows and then the columns, and then you find out where it is. So the names are what? Fendrel, Jarl, Hannibal, Zariel, Goth, Kane, Marax, Falk. I can't read some of them because they've got a big bloody line through them. Voji, Noctis, Vihaim, Akeem, and Miklov. So they give you a fair old whack of names if you want to sit there and either just name the unit or name each individual guy. It's entirely up to you. And they do the same again to find out the leader's name and unit epitaph. Yeah, because it's not an epitaph, because that'll be somewhere else. So you can have Kane, Bleak, Reavers, Lords of Hate. Basically, lots of things to put after them to make them sound a little bit nastier. Even though they are just Space Marines with bloody trim and gold spikes. That's it. Next, we move on to the play section. Core rules. hitting. So this is just general hits. So whether it's making ranged or melee, they work the same way in this one. So when a model makes an attack, make one hit roll for that attack by rolling a d6. If the result of the hit is greater than or equal to the ballistic skill or the weapon skill, then it hits. An unmodified roll of a hit is classified as a critical hit and is always successful. An unmodified roll of a 1 always fails. A hit roll can never be modified more than plus or minus 1. So you can't have a +2 or a -2. It's 1 in either direction, and that's it. If you make a successful hit roll, you then move to the wound roll, which is the nice bit. Each time an attack scores a hit against a target, make a wound roll for that attack. Roll 1d6 to see if the attack is successful at wounding the target. The result required is determined by comparing the attack's strength characteristic with the target's toughness characteristic as shown below. So, let's get it so I can actually hopefully get it in there. Okay, so if the strength is twice or more from your toughness, you want wounded on 2s. 1s are always a natural fail anyway, so it's wounded on 2s. If your strength is greater than the toughness, but not double, so if he's toughness 4 and your strength 6, or 5 or 7, any of those 3, then it's going to be 3s to wound. It's easier for you to wound, just not as easy as if you were firing a big whopping tank killer at it. If the strength and toughness were equal, so strength 8, toughness 8, it's 4+ to wound. It's 50-50 chance. 4, 5, or 6 will wound, 1, 2, and 3 won't. And then it goes in the reverse. So if you're less, but not half, so you're attacking a toughness 5 unit, your strength 3, it'll be 5 to wound. If you're attacking the same, attacking a toughness 7 unit with that strength 3, you're less than half now, so it's going to be only wounding on critical wounds. So you need 6s. It is very simple, as long as you know if it's less than, half, more than, double, you just work out from the 5 numbers. It is relatively simple once you get it in your head. So as I said, going through just the boxes there, a critical wound, an unmodified wound roll of a 6 is always successful. An unmodified wound roll of 1 is always fails. And again, it cannot be modified more than by a +1 or a -1 if you do have modifiers. If an attack successfully wounds a target, the player controlling the target unit allocates that attack to one model in the target unit as follows. If a model in the unit has already taken 1 or more wounds or has already had attacks allocated to it this phase, that attack must be allocated to that model. So you've got to take out damaged infantry and damaged models first before you can start putting them elsewhere. Otherwise, that attack can be allocated to any model in the target unit. Note that it does not matter if that model is visible or within range or engagement range of the attacking model. So, there you are. 1, 2. So you 3 have been unfortunate enough to be swamped by these 10. Now, this guy is not in contact with this guy, but I can allocate the wounds to him, not him if I wanted to. So he fails his wound, he dies, all there in combat, so they can still bump away. It's tactical removing of men, but it is part of the game. So if a model has already been allocated wounds, he's got to get them first before you can move on to someone who's not been touched. Saving throws. The player controlling the target unit then makes 1 saving throw per dice roll that needs to be made. So if you hit 27 times and wounded 27 times, he needs to make 27 fucking armor saves. You can kill with numbers in this game. It's great. By default, this will be the armor saving throw using the model's save characteristic. But some models have invulnerable saves that can be used instead. To make an armor saving throw, roll 1d6, then modify the result by the armor penetration of the attack. For example, if it's an AP 1, then you subtract 1. You can have as far as like AP 4s, and stuff that will just wipe armor off, and you're relying on invulnerable saves. So whereas AP affects normal armor, AP does not affect invulnerable saves in positives or negatives, so it's set number. That's why it's an invulnerable save. It's a lot easy. It can be more reliable than armor if you face it against something that's designed to defeat your unit. So again, an unmodified attack roll, an unmodified saving roll of 1 always fails, depending on the AP of the weapon. Unmodified 6 can always fail as well, depending how strong the weapon is. So now we are inflicting damage. We've got through, they failed their armor save. We're going to inflict damage on them now. It was a bolter, it's just 1. Some things have D6, D3, 2. They have different damage ratings. A damage is inflicted equal to the damage characteristic of the attack. A model loses 1 wound for each point of damage it suffers. If a model's wound is reduced to 0 or less, it is destroyed and removed from play. If a model loses several wounds from an attack and is destroyed, any excess damage inflicted by the attack is lost and has no effect, unless it is part of this section and it is a mortal wound. If you've inflicted mortal wounds and you've done enough to kill the unit, they have to take the rest of the mortal wounds and continue applying them to other models until every mortal wound has been used up. Mortal wounds are off. Okay. Can't get rid of them. You've got to take them all. Whereas you can... A las cannon shot, D6 damage. He rolls a 6 against your 2 damage Space Marine, but all 4 damage goes nowhere. He can just takes out that Space Marine. If it's like Smite, which can deal mortal wounds, and you roll maximum, so you end up with, I think it's 6 is the maximum you can end up with if you use Magnus. I'd use 3 to kill him. That wouldn't end then. I would have to then take the other 3 and apply them to the next person. And if that kills him and I still have more left over, then I have to put them to the next person until I have used them all and nobody's dead. Mortal wounds are a fucker. But standard wounds, yeah, you just damage 1 unit, done. There are other things that can help you prevent damage. One of them being feel no pain. It's quite a generic rule, well, a generic stratagem rule that a lot of armies get to use. And it allows you to shrug off any wound. So once you've taken the wound, you've failed your armor save, you know how much damage you've taken. But your unit has feel no pain 6+. It says feel no pain X+ here because it will vary depending on what it is. A lot of them will be 5s and 6s. The Psycho Phage is a 5+, but he gives out a 6+ little bubble around him, so little things can get it as well. So once you've taken all that damage, before you remove models, you find out if they ignore the wound. You roll your feel no pain roll, and every one of them that's successful, you get to ignore one of those wounds that's happened. That can be really frustrating to play against, but really nice to use. Death Guard had it a lot in 8th and 9th edition, and it was annoying because you would bombard them to bleed in head, and they'll fail their armor save, and then pass the fucking feel no pain. Still be there. Really annoying. Other models, though, you get bonuses if you manage to defeat them. They might even blow up, which is where you get something called Deadly Demise. Now, big creatures and vehicles generally have this. Again, it'll be a Deadly Demise X, and that's for how many wounds it can cause. So, for example, the example they give here is some models have Deadly Demise X listed in their abilities. When such a model is destroyed, roll 1d6 before removing it from play. If such a model is a transport, roll before any embarked models disembark. On the roll of a 6, every unit within 6 inches suffers a mortal wound equal to whatever the X was. So if it's D3, they suffer D3 mortal wounds. If it's D6, they suffer D6 mortal wounds. And if it's a straight 1, they just suffer 1. So the example, the transport model with a Deadly Demise of D3 abilities destroyed Before any models disembark and before removing it from play, its controlling player rolls a d6 and gets a 6. There are 3 units within 6 inches of that destroyed model, so its controlling player rolls 1d3 for each of them, inflicting mortal wounds accordingly. And no saves can be taken against mortal wounds. I don't even know if you can. Yeah, I don't even think you can feel no pain against mortal wounds either, which is a bit of a fucker. So here we have examples for fast rolling. Right. A unit of 20 termagants targets a Terminator's units with their flesh borers. As these weapons all have the same profile, the controlling player chooses to use the fast rolling method. As each has an attack characteristic of 1, he picks up 1 dice per weapon and rolls 20 dice. Just rolls all the entire unit, just picking out anything that's a hit. So all the 4s, 5s, and 6s, yep, they're all hits. Take them out. Everything else goes away. Take 4, 5s, and 6s, and then roll to wound with them. Fast rolling again. Terminators being toughness 5, flesh borers being strength 4. So you need. Oh no, strength and toughness. Strength of the weapons 5, toughness is 5. So it's 4 pluses to wound, and have a damage characteristic of 1. So they roll to see how many wounds they get. In this case, they need 4 pluses. So they take out all the 4s, 5s, and 6s again, put them to one side. Anything less, fail to wound. So you then take whatever wounded. The attacks have an arm penetration characteristic of -1. So in this instance, even though the Terminators have an invulnerable save, their normal save characteristic gives them a better chance of actually saving through it. So even though they have a 2+ save, AP -1 takes them to a 3+. It is better than their 4+ invulnerable save, so they'll use their armor save. And then then you got to go through, right? 3 to him, or 3 to them each, and roll. He lost 3, he dies. And then these you've got to do individually, one with the assault cannon, one with the sergeant with the power sword. They're not the exact same stat lines, so they get sorted out individually. You cannot fast roll for them. But in fairness, you've got a good chance of losing about 2 Terminators from all that. You've also got a chance of losing none. But yeah, you've got a good chance of losing 2. And that is the end of the issue. That's been quite a quick issue. Actually, I've not done any models. That's why I don't want to wait till next bloody week. Speaking of next week is part 2 for Legionaries. Then issues 35 and 36 are 5 more Chaos Marines, but these ones are called Havocs. These are the heavy weapon squads, so these are the ones that you're going to get more of this type of weaponry with, and heavy bolters and plasma cannons and auto cannons, plasma guns, missile launchers. That's your heavy weapons squad. And again, they are coming over 2 issues. So next week we'll get to finish off the Legionaries, and then 2 weeks after we'll have everything we need for the Havocs. Or in my case, 5 more Khorne Berserkers. Because that's what they're going to do. It's all going to be Khorne Berserkers. I found Steve. Put Steve back on with Lily. There we go. That looks better. So that is a frustrating issue this week, because now I've got to wait till next week to get the bloody rest of it. But then getting a unit of Havocs the week after, that's good. I like that. What else are we getting? I think it's paints after that. I did save that list, didn't I? Yeah, there it is. I did save the list. So Havocs. No, then it's Hellbrute. So it's 2 issues of Legionaries. The second issue being next week. Then 2 issues of Havocs, then 2 issues with a Hellbrute. Then we get the Wraith card, which I want because that'll finish off my 15. Then we get the Terminators. So it's going to be a while before we get any paints. It's going to be January, February, March, April, May. It's going around mid-June, about the 18th of June before we get any more paints. They are going to be smattered in quite a lot with the Orcs. So we're going to get 3 paint issues spread out between the War Boss and the boys. And then we're just going to get a big chunk of Death Copters and Death Dread. Another paint issue. And then we end up into the Votan, which is a lot of models from there. We're not getting anything. Yeah, the paint issues. So let's go. How many paint issues? We've just had one. So I think we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So out of the 90 issues that there are, and we're up to issue number 33, there are only 6 more paint issues. Everything else is models. So that's like 50 odd, 51 issues with models and 6 issues with paint. So that's nice to know. We don't really get any in the middle of the Votan. No paints coming in the middle of them. We get 1 set in the middle of, well, just after the start of the Gene Stealers. We get 1 set just after the start of the Cadians. And then we don't get any coming with the World Eaters at the end. Okay, fair enough. That sounds good to me. The non-metallic metal you have been doing that. There we go. Work in progress. Oh, and the dreads. That's nice. That is very nice. I can't do non-metallic metal. And the fact that you've managed to do it on a Dreadnought's foot. Man, you're too good. You're too good. However, with that point, please, if you've enjoyed this morning and you wish to take part and communicate more with myself and anyone else in the community, the Discord is in the main page. Just click on Lazy Mini Painting. Discord links in there, as well as wishlist links and any other types of links you'll associate with some kind of YouTube channel, except for Patreon. I don't have that. If you don't want to do any of that and you just like to support the channel in little ways, please hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to. That way, if you don't want to, it's entirely up to you. It's a great thing about this world. You have choices. You have choices. But yes, please, if you have enjoyed it, hit that like button. It just lets YouTube know that I'm not to be hidden away, and people do actually want to watch me sometimes. Sometimes. I'm not saying you want to watch me every time. But thank you very much for everybody who's come to see me today. Al, I hope you've done all right with your copy today, and I've not disheartened you too much by saying I can't do mine until next time. And I've got to find more chainsaws and things to be able to do them. But I will crack on with actually building the Legionaries next week, because hopefully I'm going to find all the stuff that I need so I can make them. Until next week, though, I will see you tomorrow night, where we're going to be looking at the ground coverings for Sparkle and Oak. Should be fun. So see you tomorrow night. Drive safe, everyone.